Another day and another massive news drop from the Hasbro's G.I. Joe team. Oh my gosh, who are these three characters? If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. So Hasbro revealed 3 new characters today for their Walmart CollectorCon, which starts on July 18th at 10 a.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. And if you're kind of scratching your head going, who is Shooter? Who is the Molerats? Crimson Alley Viper? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. You're not really wrong. Shooter and Molerat are not really well-known characters, at least not to me. Now, I would consider myself more of a... I can't consider myself a hardcore G.I. Joe fan, but I'm not a casual G.I. Joe fan. I mean, I know my lore, I know my stuff, and I never heard of Shooter, so I had to do some research. And if you've never heard of the Molerats, well, that's okay too, because they're made up completely for this classified line. So let's just dive right in. So let's start off with the easy one first. Let's start off with the Crimson Alley Viper. Repaints are a staple of not just the Joe line, but any toy line at all. And the Alley Viper is a great mold. It's a great figure. And of course, they're going to give us new stuff for it. This is just a pretty straightforward repaint. Nothing new here. No new molded parts, pieces, sculpts, anything like that. It's just a really cool figure. I think this is really meant to sort of fill out your Crimson ranks, and I think this guy is going to go very well with some figures that will probably be coming out in PulseCon. Now, if you head over to the Walmart.com CollectorCon page, you can find this figure already listed, already posted up there. You can't pre-order it yet. It won't go live until the 18th, but they do have some character write-ups in the product details section. And let's just go over that real quick, because I think there's something there that we really need to point out. It says, new to the G.I. Joe Classified Series line, Crimson Alley Viper comes ready for adventure with multiple points of articulation for high posability. The Crimson Alley Viper contains 10 character-inspired accessories, including a visor mask, riot shield, grappling hook, backpack, 2 knives, 2 weapon accessories, plus a footlocker to store all of his gear. That's the little plastic or little cardboard box that all their stuff comes in. To consolidate their power within Cobra, the Crimson Strike Team, Tomax, Zaymont, and Baroness. Yep, there you go. That's pretty much confirming the Crimson Strike Team will be a release here, probably at PulseCon later in the year. Have reassigned their most loyal and ruthless, brutal troops to the Crimson Alley Viper squadrons. Crimson Alley Vipers were recently sent to quell a strange outbreak among the Molerat troopers excavating dark Energon mines. That's right, they're bringing Dark Energon into the G.I. Joe line. We already know that if you've seen the most recent Transformers Beast Wars Rise of the Beast movie, that they are even crossing over the movie universe with G.I. Joe. So I hope that's not a spoiler for anybody out there. My bad. So that's really cool that they're talking about Dark Energon here. So that's it for the Crimson Alley Viper. Let's waste no more time. Let's move on to Shooter, because Shooter was somebody that I didn't really know anything about and had to do my research, because I've never heard of this character before in my life. So just starting with the front of the package, we do see that this is a Night Force version of Shooter, which means we will probably get a different version of Shooter down the road. But I can't imagine that this figure is going to be in that high demand to warrant a secondary release, and it's weird that they do Night Force first. Or maybe this is the only release we'll get of Shooter. But anyway, who is she and where'd she come from? Well, apparently she dates back all the way to the very beginning of G.I. Joe in the very first G.I. Joe Marvel Comics, G.I. Joe A Real American Hero issue 1. goes back all the way to this, where she was featured on a screen, partially obscured by a hand, and she's right next to Snake Eyes, or this character is right next to Snake Eyes, and it just says Shooter. Now, this was an Easter egg, as the inkers put in the name Shooter based on the current Marvel, or the then current Marvel editor-in-chief, Jim Shooter. And so that's where the name came from. But it wasn't until many years later when Devil's Due Comics actually got the license to do the G.I. Joe, and in their Declassified series, they actually fleshed out her character, made her name Jodie Craig, made her a sniper, and really fleshed out the character that we know and love today. And I did not find out all this information on my own. No, I was helped out by the awesome Jesse over at JLS Comics. Please go and check out his channel. I will link a video I'll put a link in the description below to the video that I watched about his information on Shooter. His channel is amazing. He is a very in-depth comic book reviewer, so go check out his channel. Getting back to Shooter here, we can see everything that she comes with on the front of the package. Again, on the back of the package, she has with this nice little Tampo tattoo on her arm, which is really cool, and it is an arrow going through a snake, which is like denoting the sniper in her, shooting cobras, which is really cool. You can see that she comes with a gas mask, a separate hairpiece, her big sniper rifle, and then a knife and a gun. A sidearm, which looks really nice. It looks like she comes with some sort of peg or something, a little connector that fits on her back, maybe, to help carry her gun on her back. I think that's what that little piece is down on the bottom right corner there. But in the background, you can see here she is battling a couple of Molerats off in the distance. You can see that this is the exact same setup and backdrop diorama that they used for Molerat and a few others recently in their photo shoots. Man, she does look really good. I can't say that I'm super excited about this figure, but I am going to pick it up, review her, see how she fits in the collection, and if not, I'll just move her on to somebody else who wants her more than me. Heading over to Walmart.com's webpage, you can see that she does have a write-up, and it does say, new to G.I. Joe classified line, Night Force Jodie Shooter Craig comes ready for adventure with multiple points of articulation for high posability. The Night Force Jodie Shooter Craig figure contains 7 character-inspired accessories, including alternate hair, alternate head with gas mask, knife, 2 weapon accessories, plus a footlocker to store all of Jodie Shooter Craig's gear. She may spend her days motionless, waiting for her target to appear. Then her esoteric knowledge of wind deflection, bullet drop, along with precise breath control, guide her as she flexes her trigger finger. And that is really dope. She sounds like a fantastic sniper. So yeah, that's all about Jodie Shooter Craig. And boy, I did not know all of that before yesterday. And now I do. So let's move on to the Molerats. And you know what? It actually seems like the Molerats were teased quite a bit ago. There's a video floating around on the internet, because I definitely wasn't in attendance, of the MCM Comic-Con in London, England last year, where on the G.I. Joe panel, Emily from the G.I. Joe team had this to say.
Our next name only reveal, Molerats. To which case, everybody, I'm sure, who has any idea what G.I. Joe is saying, Emily, what on earth are Molerats? It's a great question, guys. You'll have to stay tuned to learn more. What I can tell you, here's a hint. They are going to be troop builders. And Letty has been having a lot of fun with them.
And that's not my video. That was taken by Jacob's Toys, so please head over to Jacob's Toys webpage here on YouTube and check out all of his videos. Seems like a really good toy reviewer. Although I haven't seen a lot of his content, I'm still going to drive people his way because he posted that awesome video. And without that, we wouldn't be able to go back and see that Emily said this a long time ago about the Molerats. So let's dive right into the Molerats, because these guys are incredible. So looking at the front of the package, we can see that he's in like some kind of mine where he's like mining the dark energon. We can see that he's had a gas mask on, was maybe like a quote-unquote normal soldier at one point, but now he's been completely zombified. And this guy is given like straight up like zombie Viper vibes, like these zombie GI Joes that we've had before. They're definitely giving that off. On the back of the package, you can see that he does come with a lot of stuff, and they're like kind of just like detailing everything that he comes with on the back of the package. You can see that he comes with an alternate head with a face mask, the Energon encrusted zombie head, a backpack, a Geiger counter, it looks like a drill, maybe a flashlight, and then 2 types of weapon accessories. This guy looks really dope. I gotta say that I actually kind of find him a little more menacing in the gas mask without the zombified head, but I love the colors, the blues, the orange. He looks really, really nice. I love the backdrop here. I love the setup. This is the same one we've seen before. I love all of the... Oh, I thought that was a flashlight, but it looks more like a lantern. I love the coloring and the lighting here. I love the detail on this guy, and it looks like you can carry the lantern on his backpack, which is really nice. Man, these guys, here you can definitely see that some of them are zombified. You can have them be fighting their zombie forms, which is really cool. And I love the shambling zombie stances that they were able to put these guys in. And this character just looks great. He's somebody I was not expecting down the line. And heading over to the Walmart write-up, it says, new to the G.I. Joe Classified Series line, Molerat comes ready for adventure with multiple points of articulation for high posability. The Molerat figure contains 7 character-inspired accessories, including backpack, scanner, canister, mutated head, a drill trigger with a drill bit accessory, and a weapon accessory, plus a footlocker to store their gear, while Cobra headhunts the top scientists and researchers from across the globe. Less qualified recruits wind up as Molerats, warriors and miners seeking out new energy sources to power Cobra's war machine. Extracting deposits of volatile dark energon, there we see that dark energon again, has sparked certain troopers to become mindless husks bent on destroying everything in their path. It is too early in the morning to be reading all this stuff, and I have not had my coffee, so I apologize for the stambling. And now we can see who was shambling around in the background of Tunnel Rat's product shots. We knew they were some type of zombies, but we just didn't know which ones, and now we do. So that about wraps up our deep dive onto who these characters are. I think the G.I. Joe team is really pulling from different sources, making up new stuff, and seeing how it fits in the line, and then pulling from really old, obscure Easter egg characters like Shooter. And I'm here for it. I think expanding the wave of the G.I. Joe line, giving it some more diversity, and by that I just mean characters from different eras, things that are now being made up, like the Molerats and things like that. I think this is a way to strengthen and elongate the line, give it more life, give it more legs, and I'm here for it. So I'm digging it. But you guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Crimson Alley Viper, if you're getting him, if you're going to army build, Shooter, and Molerat. I will probably pick up maybe 2 Molerats. I'd like to have one in zombie form and one in his gas mask form, because he looks really cool. But I think that's going to about do it for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Please remember to hit us up over at Instagram and Threads at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am the Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and remember, I will see you in the toy aisles.